Pat McAfee, more than just an incredibly successful podcast host, actually at one point had a very successful NFL career as Adam Vinatieri's holder. But in between holds, he did something that oftentimes is overlooked, and that is punt the football. All joking aside, coming into his career, it was actually overlooked. By the end of it though, I would argue that many people had changed their tune. Yes, by the end of his career, many people would start to understand that the punt was one of the most exciting plays in football, and it's all thanks to this man right here. So today, we take a look at what made his career so special and how he changed the face of punting forever. But first, before we get into it, here's a word from today's sponsor of this video, Canadips. Canadips are water-soluble packages that are tobacco, nicotine, and THC free. So if you're looking to take the edge off of the day or just trying to kick the wacky tobacco, this is a great place to start, with every can having 15 pouches and every pouch having 10 milligrams of CBD. And you can use my code PUNT to get 20% off of your order at CanadipsCBD.com today. Canadips is also sponsoring an insane giveaway where you can get the autographed helmet of any active NFL player from any team. All you have to do is click the link in the description and enter your name and email to enter to win this holy grail of prizes. 3 lucky winners will get the chance to win, so enter now and use discount code PUNT for 20% off your purchases. Good luck, and back to Pat. So Pat's magnificent career could be defined with 3 S's. You have skill, swagger, and leadership. And each one of these points contributed to his incredible NFL success, and I'll be using each one of these to explain how he revolutionized the game of punting. First, and most importantly, he had a lot of skill. Now this is obviously like the floor to playing in the NFL, because if you're unskilled, you just frankly are never going to get a shot. But everyone knows there are different levels of skilled, and here's what I think separates Pat McAfee, is he didn't come in at like the pinnacle of punting. He wasn't out here perfectly pinning every punt inside the one, hitting beautiful 60-yard punts out of bounds every single time. I mean, he was good, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't like insane in his first year at all. But like all greats, what was so amazing is we got to see him really develop across the years. He started doing new things. He was hitting drop punts. He was shifting his alignment before the snap. He really improved his directional prowess across his career. And you just watch him get better and better and better. And honestly, in his last 3 years, he was absolutely dominating the position. And everyone knew, oh, we have to watch out for this guy. I mean, it wasn't until 2014 he got his first Pro Bowl and All-Pro recognitions and had a career best year in 2016, and then he retired. He's one of the few cases where we just gotta watch him steadily get better year after year, and never had a year he went, he kind of let this one go a little bit. This just made it super fun to watch if you're a punter, because you know there's always a chance you're gonna learn something new or see him do something that you've never seen before. But what makes him so fun to watch, even if you're not a punter, is because of the second S, and that is his swagger. I mean, this is probably what everybody knows Pat for. The way, the golf swing, the strut. This man was radiating not give a fuck energy, and it was contagious. He seemed like one of the very few punters who was actually having fun in the game. Like, while everyone else was going out there looking like they're about to have a nervous breakdown, getting super disappointed when they don't hit their best punt, he was just doing his thing, having fun. A great example would be when he got a week-long suspension after getting arrested, came back the next week, and the first punt he hit downed on the 1-yard line. It's like he didn't care. Nothing else in that moment bothered him. He was just living free and fun, and it was so amazing to watch. And there's just something in his style too that's just carefree. He doesn't seem like it's an overcomplicated punter. You know, something about it just screams, hey, just catch the ball, drop the ball, kick the ball, but obviously with enough care for him to, be a 2-time Pro Bowler and a 1-time All-Pro first team. He perfectly blended the styles of caring too much where you hurt your own performance, and caring so little that you just don't perform at all. This led to probably some of the most fun 7 years of punting ever witnessed, and everybody, from announcers to fans to other football players, everybody loved it and was able to just gather around this phenomenon of a guy having fun while punting. But none of those things would have had the lasting impact on the game that they did have without this last characteristic that made Pat just really stand out. Because he's more than just a punter. He was more than just a comedian. He's more than just a guy who has fun and kicks really well. He was a leader. And in a lot of ways, when you have success like Pat did, leadership is going to be thrust upon you, whether you like it or not. And what you do with that success and with that leadership will determine your career in a lot of ways. It's the ultimate responsibility of somebody who's worked that hard to be great, is to then become a leader. And what Pat did with his leadership is nothing short of artwork. Because somehow, some way, it appeared that he had instilled the love for the game that he had into 10 other guys he had on the field with him. As I was collecting film, there was one thing to me that always stood out, and it's how fast those Colts players were moving on these special teams plays. These guys are really out here flying downfield, shaking off blocks, making incredibly acrobatic plays to keep the ball out of the end zone, and just absolutely turning returners into foldable lawn chairs. And there's one thing I know, it's that it doesn't matter who you have screaming at you from the sideline, but if you don't respect the man standing back there behind the personal protector 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, you're not going to put your all into that play. These guys would sell out for every single punt play I watched, and it was just downright beautiful to see. And while it's the hardest point to prove, you can just tell by the way that McAfee sprints down there to cheer on his guys after a good play that his leadership is giving these guys new life on special teams. Even on his great plays, he never just celebrates by himself. It's always going and hyping up the play with his team. All in all, these three things, I think, are what defined Pat's career, aside from the fact that he retired way too early, effectively blue-balling his whole fan base. But on the screen you have another video of an amazing punter that I love to watch, so go check that one out. But as always, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and peace.
Kick by McAfee, but it's going to bounce. Is it going to be saved? It is going to be saved just short of the goal line by Dante Moncrief. Special teams play extraordinaire by number 10.